grab arms. Let's go. Watch this clip. Don't show the whole thing, but let's show the first 10, 20 seconds.
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa, and there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out. They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet.
Pause it right there. They want this. They want this to go to 100. They need the temperature to go to the roof. They need that. So this is rules for radicals, folks. It's working. They want that momentum because it was going too much on the other side. Davos, everybody's listening to Trump. Everything's going good. Negotiations are taking place. No, we need this. We can't have somebody go out there and be able to win all as much as he is. There's no way we can have that. They need to divide. Vinny.
And by the way, I don't know if it's true or not, Rob, but allegedly this guy, when he's talking about boots on the ground, I think it might be stiletto boots because he's wearing dresses, if I'm not mistaken, Rob. That guy is, what would you call him allegedly, Rob? Is that the guy? This guy right here? If that's him.
Is it the same guy?
I mean, look at the tattoos. I don't know. Look at the tattoo on the neck.
Yeah, take a look at the face tattoo.
Is that him?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Is that the boots? So listen, he has a lot going on in his world, in his life, so I'm pretty sure he's really confused. But can we just take a step back? Why, besides the billions and the distraction, why? I've been trying to wrestle with this. Why are Democrats, Tom, so pro-illegals? They don't care about all the young girls that are getting raped and murdered. And I thought about it. Deportations threaten Democratic power. Because think about it. For 4 years, when we were on this podcast screaming and going, dude, the border is wide open. Why? And Alejandro Mayorkas would sit in Congress.
Importing voters.
Importing 15 to 20 million people. And every time we talked, they told us to shut up because we were racist. Okay? So now all these people are in 4 years of military-age men that are doing whatever they want in this country. And by the way, they don't care. Guys, they don't care about the 300,000 missing children that went missing at the border, okay? Sex slave, sex trafficking, cheap labor. Trump has found 60,000 of them and actually recovered them. But if you think about it, these are their voters. The more voters, they're dying to give them amnesty. That's why they don't want these people to have to show ID to vote. Remember that whole, it's racist if you show them, if you ask them for IDs. This is the game plan because when you're the Democratic Party and you have nothing, you have no policy, you have no leaders, you have nothing. What is the Democratic Party running on right now? This is what they have. It's chaos, Tom. It's illegals. We love illegals because they are our voters. Okay, once those are gone, Trump is deporting voters. They're going crazy because they're losing their base. You understand? Who's the number one front runner? Gavin Newsom. And what's his policy? I'm proud that I give illegals free this and free that and come to California. That's it. That's all this is about. They're hemorrhaging voters. Donald Trump is single-handedly taking every single one of their votes and plucking them. And they have to fight to keep it.
So there's a layer of things happening, and people got to stay with the story, and it's not complicated. Number one, you have Nick Shirley and others are exposing what's going on. We're also exposing the illegal immigration, and we're deporting their voters, and we're finding out how in the Somali community, this is just a case study of what's happening everywhere, that the Democrats are using. They have a playbook to create these NGOs and to get money in, and then that money goes into the campaign. So when you start deporting people and you start shining the light on the daycare and everything in Minnesota, you start dismantling the fraud machine that they've been using to stay in power. There's also a shift in electoral votes going south. Believe it or not, they know it. In 32, not 28, but 32, Minnesota can go red. When you look at where the electoral votes are going to be in the districts, Minneapolis is everything from Minnesota in terms of presidential election. So when you look and see what's happening, deport people, take away the voters, expose the fraud, expose the money, suddenly the spotlight in a week and a half was on who?
Tim Walz,
correct,
and Jacob Fry, and Ilhan Omar.
Exactly. And suddenly there are, shock troops and their own military coming to help them. I've been looking at things all weekend. There is a Special Forces warrant officer that described the U.S. military handbook of dismantling insurgency. He said, you're seeing it step by step. And he was talking step here, step there, what we're seeing. He said, this is phase one of something we've spent decades trying to keep down internationally than now is in our own soil. The Revolutionary Machine, this is an amazing account. It's 11 pages long, comes from Insurrection Barbie, talking about the playbook. They're publishing the playbook that these folks are using and indicating where and how it's being funded by people like Code Pink and Singham, who you pointed out, the billionaire or near billionaire that's in overseas, that's floating it in. You have people like Jonathan Turley that pointed out, he says, look, go take a look at what Chris Mays, Attorney General, is saying. He said, don't see them as real law enforcement. And there is a possibility of citizens, encountering them and shooting them under state law. You've got Attorney General saying that. Tim Walz leading it and saying, the public should not treat Border Patrol or ICE officers as real law enforcement. These are responses because the whole system is being dismantled by Trump. Deportation, exposure of voter fraud, exposure of the fraud happening in daycare centers. It's just the beginning. And the reaction you're having here, they are protecting the mechanism that they have been building for 10 years.
Humberto.
We had an amazing dinner 2 weeks ago, and we talked about likability, all right? Nobody likes the ally, all right? They don't like the lady that got shot last time. They don't like this guy that got shot this week. They don't like the Antifa guy because he's not part of the crowd. He's an ally. Likability in this situation is very important. What happens with the video of the ally that he's talking about? Like, imagine, Vinny, if you did the same video a year ago before Trump was president, and you're like, oh, we're going to go to the border and we're going to round up all these pesky Chileans and throw them outside the border. You will be arrested immediately, all right? So even though that guy's a radical, he has institutional power behind him, all right? He has DAs, he has elected officials, he has people that will bail him out, he has NGO money, all right? That's the scary thing about this. Like, this looks a guy that will dress like a woman and has all the tattoos and everything.
He knows he's protected.
He's protected.
Yeah.
All right.
Just look, think about the two black girls that went into the church, which, by the way, there's some details of the court filings that came out. I'll have Rob show you, Pat. Did you hear what they were doing? What they were actually doing in the church? Women broke their arms, and these people were running up to children, grabbing kids in the hallway that were blocking the daycare, and they were yelling, where does it say? Terrorizing children. Kids were weeping. One of them grabbed the kid. I think it's on the next page, Robbie. Grabbed the kid and said, do you know that your parents are Nazis? Look in the bottom. Your parents are Nazis. And then on the next page, screaming Nazi. And then they looked at one of the kids and said, you know your father is going to burn in hell. Those two people were arrested, and in 2 days, the judge, Biden-appointed judge, releases them from jail. So it's not even, well, what are we even doing now? It's like,
not only here, it's international. They spend millions of dollars on having people that will bail them out. Now, the big question here is why? What are they trying to achieve on the long run? Because we're going to have more murder, we're going to have more insurrections, we're going to have more things burned down until we don't discover what's the objective. Like, do they want a constitutional amendment? Do they want to change, government? What do they want to do?
They just want to burn it down. Alberto, these are the Joker, like the movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, the first one. They just want to burn it down, the same as the other Joker.
Those are the ground soldiers.
And they have to break the American family and then break the American Constitution.
What is the opposite argument? Give me this. What is the opposition saying? What is their argument against everything that's going on right now?
Well, one,
logical argument. Give me the logical argument the opposition is given.
Trump is a dictator, and he's being authoritative, and he's being like Hitler. I mean, that's the easy go-to is Trump is being Hitler. He's sending out these...
But that's not logical. To me, that's emotional. Give me the logical player. What is the logical player saying?
You may not agree with it, but being anti-trans is anti-personal rights. That person has the right to be like that. You're taking away their right to be. And if kids don't know where they are, you're preventing children from experiencing who they are. They have the right. A lot of the things that they're talking about in globalism, Pat, is you have to create rights for others and create groups where you can tell them that their rights are being impugned. It goes right back to what was a good cause that happened in American civil rights movement, where we said all people should have rights regardless of who they are, and all created equal, all men are created equal. What the Dems and what the logical side of globalists and the far left Dems is to create a right in a person that sounds logical, so you're defending them and you create a victim in them, and what you're really doing is intentionally breaking the moral code and the structure of the society as it is.
I'll give you another one. This is America, okay? We should have the open, bring them in, let them come here because they're escaping their country and their country's bad. They need to come here because the Statue of Liberty says, come here, bring your weak, bring everything. This is America. We're supposed to accept everybody.
They're refugees.
That's their
They're
thing.
political prisoners.
Like, listen, but they're illegal. They have a record. They're fleeing their country, Patrick. They're fleeing their country. And yet, if they come here and they have a baby here, that baby has to be taken care of and protected. That's it. That's it. Anybody should come here. And mind you, the people that are the loudest are the ones protected. They're in gated communities. They have security. They're not dealing with any of this. That's what drives me crazy. They're not dealing. Tim Walz is never going to get the phone call. Hey, Tim, yeah, your daughter, yeah, I'm sorry to tell you, she was murdered by an illegal. He's not going to get that. She has security. She's protected. They're never going to get that phone call, so it's never going to affect them, and he's never going to care. None of them. You think Barack Obama's out there putting out a letter, basically telling people, guys, keep going. Keep going. This is the guy that's still in the lead for deportations. 2025, Trump was behind him by almost 200,000. By the way, you heard his attitude in 2013 about the border? Like, yeah, you saw this guy.
I'm not an emperor. This is a good clip to watch.
You know, I'm the President of the United States. I'm not the Emperor of the United States. My job is to execute laws that are passed. And Congress right now has not changed what I consider to be a broken immigration system. And what that means is that we have certain obligations to enforce the laws that are in place, even if we think that in many cases the results may be tragic. There are going to be some stories that break our hearts. And more importantly, we're going to continue to have an economy that is stifled by a really inefficient system where not only are we deporting folks, but we also have a legal immigration system that is so bottlenecked that it forces sometimes people into the illegal system. You know, weird. I'm the President of the United States. I'm
weird?
not.
Isn't that weird? Like, what? Isn't that weird?
But
you
you
can
have
look
to
at the
realize-
logical argument, but if remember from Saul Alinsky, the stuff you just showed, Pat,
Yeah.
to the playbooks we're seeing, their first point of trigger is emotion.
Tom, but that's not it, though. You're right. But what I'm trying to tell you is, my friend would always tell me, he says, you know what? I don't know why, Pat, but every time a Democrat's in, the protesters goes away. I just want to be peaceful. I said, that's part of the playbook, guy. That's what they're supposed to sell. They just won. Yeah. They got a guy that does $100 million a year in revenue to make that comment. How many of your employees are not going to believe that? They're going to say, well, if he's doing $100 million, he must know what he's talking about. He says when Democrats are there, there's no protesting. Yes, because Republicans have jobs. Republicans don't go hire agitators to say, come out there. And that's the playbook of the opposing side. Now, by the way, you have to realize they have their own set of mistakes and issues that they're dealing with. We're not sitting here saying it's perfection there as well. But when it comes down to this, well, why were they so good to Obama? Because it's the left cooperating with the left. Why would they not cooperate with the left? It's don't cooperate with the right. And this will continue of them not cooperating with the right because the right is the enemy. This is a playbook that keeps happening over and over and over and over again. Rob, can you go back to my Twitter account? I put this one thing there.